Hey guys, this is Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another, well, for the final time till I'm guessing the movie, a Teasing Master Takagi-san video for you guys as we get the end to season 3 here in this episode, which I thought was a very good episode, if not probably my favorite episode of the season, because of just how nice, sweet, romantic, cute, adorable episode this was. This episode essentially picks up where we last left off last week from the aspect one, the titles too, because the last week's episode title was February 14th and this week's episode title was March 14th, which aka is White Day, I guess, in Japan. So essentially, hold on a quick second, guys. Sorry guys, for that. Anyways, but as I was saying, you get a nice, sweet, romantic episode here, which closes out the season, and it was obviously my favorite. So, like I said, this episode picks off where it left off last week with the whole cliffhanger of Nishikata's friend saying, so, it's gonna, when White Day happens, you gotta tell her you love her, and stuff like that. And obviously that's the thing, because Nishikata and Takagi are walking home, and that's the number one thing he's thinking about. He's like, me tell Takagi that I love her? Please, I don't like her like that. No, there's no way. And he's like, although I do like hanging out with her and I do think she's cute. And when he said that, I'm like, bruh, if you're already saying all that stuff, you already like her romantically. You love her. And stuff like that. The moment you say the moment as a guy you think a girl is cute, you're into them. You like them romantically. But Takagi is talking while he's thinking about this and everything, and she's essentially talking about how one of her family members are getting married and she's gonna have to leave and stuff like that. And I found it a nice little funny thing because she's like, "Hey, are you okay? You sound like you're zoning out or something." He's like, "Oh no, I'm not." And then his face gets all beat red, especially when he's thinking about the whole telling Takagi about his feelings for her and everything. And she just looked back. She's like, you've been red this entire time. What's going on? And obviously he's like, nothing's going on with me. I'm fine. And stuff like that. So yeah, but the next day in school, she ends up saying like, listen, can I copy your first period notes? Because, I have to go attend my family's wedding. And stuff like that. And Nishikata's like, wait, really? And she's like, yeah, I told you that yesterday. I'm gonna be out the entire first period, but I'll be back later in the day, and stuff like that. So the thing is, Nishikata was coming up with this one little prank trick, so he could, I guess you could say, muster up the courage to tell Takagi that he's in love with her, because it's funny because his friend is like, hey man, good luck today. You'll need it. I'm like, this guy's making him. I'm like, if I was this dude's friend, if I was Nishikata, I'd be telling him, bro, don't you need to be the one that had the guts to tell Hojo that you in love with her? And two, why are you forcing me to tell me if I should tell this girl if I like her? That's the thing that I found so dang hilarious out of the whole situation. But yeah. He's coming up with this whole plan where he's going to designate like these boxes with these riddles in it that Takagi will read, and essentially will end up leading, to him. He can essentially win in some weird way and then have the courage to tell her that, oh, I like you or I love you. The only problem with this whole predicament is he starts to realize, wait, she's not here. She's not coming. And stuff like that. And the funny thing I found is the places he tried to put it in, they were already like all stuck there and everything. Like her cubby hole has like a box of new shoes in it. Her desk was filled up with all her books, so he just put it on the chair. I don't know why you can just not stuff the box in her little cubby hole, but okay. Could have put it in between the two shoes that were already there. Anyways, He ends up getting a text message from Takagi saying like, yeah, the ferry isn't going to take off because the bad weather, the high winds, but it's like makes no sense because I think even I've been on cruise ships before. I know I haven't been on a ferry boat. Well, I have been on a ferry boat before. I don't think a ferry boat would stop for any reasons, but I'm guessing the strong winds were creating the water currents to be a lot more stronger, which can be dangerous if you are on a boat and everything. So that's probably the reason why. So essentially, she texts Takagi like, or she texts Nishikata like, "I'm not gonna make it to school today, so I'll see you tomorrow," and everything. Because even the teacher, before he even gets the text message, the teacher says like, "Oh, you're gonna be on library duty yourself," and stuff like that. So yeah. And you obviously get the typical scene where, you know, Nishikata's just in school and he's like, no, it's not as fun as I thought it would be just to be by myself. I kind of miss Takagi. You know, it's your typical whole thing in a trope where you're friends with a girl that you may like, whether that it's like your best friend who's a girl or just a girl that you like a lot and you hang out a lot with them. You know, and the fact that, oh, if they're gone for a day, especially in the event of young love, you know, it's pretty dang hard to like, so they're gone, what do I do? Because I can't think of anything else to do because I only hang out and I really like them and stuff like that. So it was kind of that whole stigma this episode, which, yeah, it did feel a little sad for Nishikata. I did feel a little sad for him. I've been through that before. I think many people have been through that before, where they may like somebody a lot who they talk to a lot and they hang out a lot with when they were in middle school or sometimes high school or even elementary school, some cases, and then, you know, they're gone for the day. You're like, it's kind of boring and stuff like that because, hey, the person that you always hang out with 24/7 more than likely isn't there. And stuff like that. And mind you, you know, over the past 3 seasons, other than really being with his friends, who's the main constant person in Nishikata's life that's always been with him from the jump, and that's Takagi. So yeah, and you get this one scene. Now, what happens is 2 of his friends are like wrestling in the classroom for some reason and stuff like that. They're pushing each other. The box that was sitting on Takagi's chair gets off. One of the girls from the trio of girls picks it up, and they actually end up throughout the episode doing the riddle solving. And we see at the end of the episode, which I'll get into in a bit, that they open and they're like, oh, this wasn't for us. This was for Takagi because it says Nishikata quest. So yeah, but anyways, you get a scene where Nishikata's in the library. His friend's like, too bad that Takagi's not here. You know, you could have told her, you know, the L word. And he's like, oh, please, I wasn't going to tell her that. Yeah, that was just a joke. Even if she was here, I would never have told her that. And stuff like that. So, yeah, and then the thing is like, oh, yeah, you should really read this book, man. It's really good. And the thing is, it was the book that Takagi read in the one episode when they were first went on library duty. And he remembers the scene in the book where, you know, she said, I love you. And, you know, she was just messing with him because she said, oh, that's just what the book says and everything after this one specific part. So what happens is he goes home, but before we go home, Hojo and the one guy who likes Hojo, they're walking home, and it looks like he's about to have the courage to tell Hojo, like, I love you and everything, or I really like you. And the thing is, you know, he's like, Hojo, I need to tell you something. And she turns around. She looks like she's going to be happy to get the answer she's been waiting for because she clearly likes the guy. And she's thinking he's finally going to confess to me. And the dude who's been telling Nishikata, yo, you need to freaking tell Takagi that you love her. This man bitches out and he's like, I'll see you tomorrow, man. And obviously she's like, she turns around and she's like, Baka. Which was hilarious. Essentially saying idiot or dummy. Because she knows she's waiting for when he's going to tell her. But I feel like for this situation, I feel like she would need to tell him that she likes him for him to finally have the guts to say, I like you too. And stuff like that. So that whole storyline ends this season off with none of these two confessing. I feel like maybe this might be resolved in the movie. We'll see. My guy, I was like, my dude, come on, man. They did the typical that which you can say was the typical tease or cock tease moment of romance animes or harem-like animes and stuff like that, where you have the main character not being able to have the courage to tell the girl, oh, I really like you and stuff like that. So that's the thing that happens there. So yeah, that's how that storyline ends. But the thing is, Nishikata gets home. He opens up and starts reading the book. He's actually trying to look for the part that Takagi read and everything, and he finds out the I love you line isn't in there. And he's like, whoa, wait. There's no way she meant that, and everything. She had to be teasing me. And he just gets flashbacks to all the moments they spent together and everything. And on top of it, he gets a text from Takagi saying like, hey, the ferry actually got out and I'm gonna be, back home in the afternoon and stuff like that. So yeah, and obviously Nishikata sees this and he's recalling almost dang near all the moments we've seen the past 3 seasons of spending time with Takagi, which you can furtherly say that dude likes Takagi like a lot. He's in love with her. And the dude does what you would see in a typical romance show. He goes outside, he's running, he goes on the bus to go meet up with Takagi to give her this present he has in his hands, which we find out is chocolate. Hold on a quick second, guys. Okay, sorry for that quick interruption there, but yeah, that happened. So the thing is, he's going outside. You get your typical, romance show where male main character wants to give the girl a present or ends up confessing the feelings to the girl he's into, the main female character, and he goes through the lengths and bounds to do it. I enjoyed this one. For some reason, these scenes, even though it's always redone over and over and over again, when I watch these romance shows of the main male character, running to his crush to tell her his feelings and stuff like that, and he has to dang near go through something. He goes through like these leaps and bounds to get to her and everything, but for some reason, when you're always entrenched in these romance shows and these stuff like that, especially with the fact that these two, they're middle schoolers and stuff like that, it's young love, really young, adorable, cute love. It never gets old. It really never. So I can watch all these different romance shows and they can do the same trope all over again. It always gets endearing, especially when you're so hooked and dived into the relationship, because you like the characters so much. It never gets old. So Nishikata takes the bus all the way to the ferry location. He ends up getting there, but the ferry is essentially done. It's already unloaded everybody, and he turns around and he sees Takagi leaving in this car, which I'm guessing is his mother's car. And he's like, Takagi, wait! But he gets there too late. She drives off and everything. And dude, it's like, oh man, he really went all the way there for nothing. And he's gonna have to wait till to the next day to see her. But when I tell you, the thing that kind of hit me the most in this whole situation, that hit me really damn hard, this guy's determination to give this little box of chocolates and just talk to her, because he wanted, like he said when he had some meeting up with her, he's like, I really wanted to see you. It was unique in its own way because this man willingly, and I don't know how far this guy had to go to even get to the ferry place. It seemed like it was a long bus ride. This man was willing to run, I don't know how many miles it was just to get there on bus, but he was willing to go on foot all the way there to freaking go see Takagi, bro. if that isn't dedication, if that isn't love right there, I don't know what that is, man. That was honestly, I almost started crying, bruh. I'm like, this guy really loves her, man. He's literally gonna run. I would not do that, please. I would have found the nearest bus stop and said, take me back home, please. But this man was literally walking on the road, or running on the road just to catch up. And Takagi's in her car, essentially looking at her phone and everything, and stuff like that. And she sees his playground and everything. She like ends up recording it and stuff like that, or it looks like she can take a picture. And within the corner of her eye, she sees on the other side of the road, you know, on the other side, far other side, she's like, Nishikata? And she makes her mom stops the car. She's like, hey, I'll take the bus home and everything. And she starts running, and she obviously, she's like, that can't be him and everything. There's no way he would do it. But you know, you get that scene where they're going over the hill, they're running, as they're running up this hill area, they both see each other, and she's very happy, and she's like, he really is here and everything. So they finally meet up as the episode's ending, and you know, obviously Takagi's like, what are you doing here? You know, I was gonna see you tomorrow and everything. Like, why are you here? And Takagi, or Nishikata, who's out of breath, he's like, I really wanted to see you. And she starts getting she's shocked by this, and she starts blushing and everything. And he's like, you know, you gave me the chocolates on February 14th. And today was March 14th, and it's White Day, and I wanted to give you the chocolates, but I messed up this chocolate just trying to chase you down and everything, and it's already smushed and everything. But the only reason is I really missed you, and I wanted to see you again. And, you know, he's like, I'm sorry I couldn't give you the present that I wanted to give you. And Takagi grabs his hands, and she's like, it's okay, because you already given me the best gift possible, and everything. And he looks up at her, and she's smiling, with obviously her cheeks are all red and blushing and everything. She's smiling and everything, and she's like, you know, the present you gave me was you telling me your feelings. And you get this nice scene where he looks up, they're holding hands, in the same position as the camera's panning out, in this area where like the cherry trees and everything are there, and this nice song was playing in the background, and that's it for season 3. Obviously, Nishikata did not confess and say that I like you or I love you, either or, same thing. But it's still a sweet thing to say, especially from his perspective, that he missed Takagi a lot, and he really wanted to see her. And I think, you know, and it's like I said earlier, him just willingly probably gonna run maybe dang near, it would potentially maybe 5-10 miles just to try to catch up with her car, which there's no possibility of doing that, let's be honest. He's not Sonic the Hedgehog. If he was Sonic the Hedgehog or maybe the Flash, he would have caught up right there, and everything, but he didn't. And the fact that, you know, he was willing to do that, I think that shows a lot for Takagi, where she's like, no, this guy really was trying to chase me down and really willing to meet me. He goes to show you how much he really missed me, because he not only tried to show up to the place, he tried to catch up to her car and everything, which, if that isn't an indirect way of honestly a confession there, then I don't know what that means. I feel like this was a really good episode. I enjoyed it a lot, and stuff like that. I did find it funny because when the girls who were doing Nishikata's whole thing, when they found out, like, oh, this is for Nishikata, this is for Nishikata and Takagi, or this is for Takagi, we need to put all the freaking boxes back where we found them now. If it was me, I would have forgot everywhere I would have put them. But that was nice and everything. So yeah, and that's where the episode ends off, and that's the end of season 3. Already said I enjoy this episode. My favorite episode of the season. My whole thoughts of season 3 of Teasing Master Takagi-san. What more can I say? I know I never did a review of the first 2 seasons of Teasing Master Takagi-san, but I enjoyed those on my first watch. With obviously season 2, the way it ended was definitely setting up for them to take a step in their relationship to the potentially the next the next step. And I think this season did a good job at establishing that next step being forward. And it really now, by the time the movie comes, it comes down to see who is going to be the first one to eventually just get it off their chest and confess. And then, you know, it will end off with them being a couple, a relationship, dating. I can definitely see it where the movie takes it in a way where, you know, it's their last day of middle school. Nishikata essentially confesses for real this time. And as they're going into high school, they're dating. You know, I definitely could see the movie go that direction. But, you know, season 3 had the same things, you know, the last 2 seasons had the same funny gags and same funny tricks and things that get you out loud or make you laugh out loud when it comes to watching this show. But really, like I said in a few episodes, there was really major development status to where you saw that Takagi was a lot more affectionate, more, you know, revealing of her feelings for Nishikata. You know, yes, was she messing and teasing with him from time to time? Like, for example, that library book scene when she said, "I love you." No, she genuinely freaking meant that because that wasn't in the dang book. Nishikata's just too, I guess, dumb or dull to understand what she meant by that. But the thing I appreciate this season is they could have taken the approach that they did the last 2 seasons. But no, they took the approach of, you know, yes, we're going to still have the same elements from the first 2 seasons, but we're going to pick off right where we left off at the end of season 2. And that's where we're going to dive in more about how both of these characters ultimately feel about each other and being more comfortable in their element to express their feelings. We saw as the season progressed, Takagi was more open to expressing her feelings for Nishikata. Even if it was in a jokingly manner, you know, she still was more open to it. Like, again, one of my favorite episodes of this season was when they were doing the play and Nishikata filled in and everything, and Takagi was just so open because she was happy that he was there, that, you know, she said the thing of like, ever since I met you, you know, my life's been very happy and stuff. Like, I forgot the line she said, and stuff and things like that. But she said ever since last spring, which was their 7th grade year, and I believe they were in like, they should be in 8th grade or something like that, and everything. So, you know, that whole thing, and then Nishikata understanding like his feelings coming to the forefront of like, I don't like Takagi, but, you know, she's not that half bad, even though she teases me, and, you know, she's cute and everything. And it was from his side of his perspective, like, you know, his feelings are now coming for Takagi, of the fact that he truly likes her. And I think now, especially after this ending to the season, he's in that mode where, as a guy, you like a girl romantically. He's in that phase now. He's gonna view Takagi differently, and we might see in the movie, you know, he might end up getting a little bit more flustered around her more than he usually is. He might actually find it hard to talk to her because, well, he likes her, and that happens with any guy or any people or anybody, just not guys, girls too. I know that happened with me when I had, you know, girls that I liked in school. I freaking was like, I don't know if I could talk to them, but, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, season 3, I thought it was great. It was the best season yet. And I definitely enjoyed the ending to this season. This ending was so sweet, romantic. But like I said, this isn't the last of Teasing Master Takagi-san for now. We are getting a movie. We don't know when the movie's gonna come out. But the movie will more than likely, I feel like, gonna be like, it's gonna be the penultimate end to this series in terms of the anime, and stuff like that. Unless I guess they want to cover the spin-off series based on when they're adults and everything, and they have their kid, like we saw at the start of one of the episodes. and everything. But that's the next thing that's when it's gonna come out. And like I said, that's probably what's gonna be the ending to the series in the anime form. I feel like, you know, ending the series off of a big movie, which is kind of like what the quintessential quintuplets are doing. I think it's gonna make a lot of sense, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it and have a lot of fun with it. And I definitely can't wait for whenever the movie's gonna come out, because I really do want to see the climax, and I am going to be interested to see who will be the person to say, you know, who they like first. I think definitely it's going to be Nishikata that's going to say that, and then Takagi will probably say, it's like, I've been waiting all this time for you to finally say that to me. And that's when he's going to be like, what? And then that's when she's like, I've really liked you too. But you know, that's it. But I definitely did enjoy this season. I can't wait for them whenever the movie comes out, and stuff like that. But anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on season 3 of Teasing Master Takagi-san. And again, hit the subscribe button if you want to get more anime content I upload to the channel. Right now, I believe I'm sitting at like 184 subscribers. So hey, road to 200 subscribers is coming very soon. So please hit that subscribe button if you want to get to 200 subscribers faster enough than I guess can be, as we continue to grow the channel. But again, thank you for the continued support. Until then, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you guys later. Have a great rest of your day and stay safe out there. Peace.